morning, everyone. Today we are going to start talking about fractions in math. As you can see, we have a Hershey's fraction book right here. So to start us off, let's take a read through this and see what we can learn about some fractions, okay? So, the Hershey's Milk Chocolate Fractions book. One over 1 equals 1. Milk chocolate, ooh, delicious. Here is a Hershey's milk chocolate bar, the kind Milton Hershey made famous. Before we eat it, we are going to learn about fractions. Let's start by taking the wrapper off. Remember not to litter. 1 whole. Here we have 1 whole milk chocolate candy bar. And what is a fraction? A fraction is a part or portion of a whole thing. We are using Hershey's milk chocolate bar as our whole thing. Okay? We have 12 over 12, 12 twelfths. If you break this candy bar apart, you will see 12 equal sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 1 whole. 12 over 12 equals 1 over 1. You can stack the 12 equal sections on top of each other. Hey, it looks different, but any way you rearrange them, they will still equal 1 whole candy bar. 1/12. Maybe this is the easiest way to understand fractions. What would you rather eat? 1/12 of a candy bar? Or would you rather eat 11/12 of a candy bar? If you love milk chocolate, then the answer is simple. As you can see, doing fractions can be fun. 1/2. Here is 1/2 of a Hershey's milk chocolate bar. 6/12. And here is the other half. 6/12 is equal to 1/2. When two fractions equal each other, they are called equivalent fractions. 1/3. Here is 1/3 of a whole Hershey's milk chocolate bar. How did we get to the fraction 1/3? Think of it like this. Our candy bar can be divided into three equal groups. Each of the 3 groups has 4 sections. 9/12. Let's explain it another way. 3/4 is equal to 9/12. 1/5. It's time for something different. We can still do fractions without the candy bar. There are 5 cows on this page. 4 cows have black spots and 1 cow has red spots. 1/5 of the cows on this page has red spots. Do you ever wonder why Hershey's chocolate factory was built in the middle of farm country? There's an easy answer. Milk. One of the 3 main ingredients used in making milk chocolate is milk. If 6 cows mooed and you mooed also, your moo would be 1/7 of all the moos on this page. Don't forget to ignore the duck. 1/6. Back to the candy bar. We need to learn how to put a fraction into its lowest terms. If you divide the numerator and the denominator by the same factor, you can simplify this fraction to its lowest terms. 1/6 is the lowest term of 2/12. 5/6. 5/6 is what's left over from a whole candy bar after removing 1/6. 2/12. Here is an equation that is easy to understand. 1/6 is equal to 2/12. 10/12. Here is another way to say 5/6. 10/12. It's starting to look more delicious after every fraction we show. 1/8. It's time for another break. Chocolate comes from cocoa pods. The cacao tree grows in very warm and moist climates. Here are 8 pods. If one pod fell off and bonked you on the head, you would have been bonked on the head by 1/8 of cocoa pods on this page. 2/3. What is left over is 2/3. 1/3 plus 2/3 equals 3/3. When the top number and the bottom number are the same, the fraction is equal to 1. 4/12. Here is another way of saying 1/3. 4/12 is equal to 1/3. 8/12. And what is left over? 8/12. 8/12 is equal to 2/3. 4/12 plus 8/12 equals 12/12, which equals 1 whole candy bar. 1/4. Here is 1/4 of a Hershey's milk chocolate bar. If you want to call this fraction 1/4, that's okay too. 3/4. Here is what is left over, 3/4, or you could call it 3/4. 3/12. 3/12 is another way of saying 1/4. Did you know that the top number of a fraction is called the numerator and the bottom number of a fraction is called the denominator? Now you know. Cocoa, milk, and sugar are the 3 main ingredients used in making milk chocolate. Sugar usually comes from sugar cane. If you cut it down 1 stalk, you will have cut down 1/9 of the sugar canes left on this field. 5/12. Here is an interesting fraction. It is already in its lowest terms. The fraction 5/12 cannot be broken down or reduced any further. 7/12. The amount left over from 5/12 is 7/12. 7/12 is another fraction that is in its lowest terms. 1/10. Here is a way to get a fraction of 1/10. There are 10 candy bars on this page. 1 out of the 10 candy bars is unwrapped. 13/12. Here's a fraction where the top number is larger than the bottom number. This is called an improper fraction. 13/12 is really 1 and 1/12. Whoever made this fraction used more than 1 candy bar. So far in this book, we have learned that the main ingredients in milk chocolate are sugar, milk, and cocoa. We also learned the fractions 1/12, 2/12, 3/12, 4/12, 5/12, 6/12, 7/12, 8/12, 9/12, 10/12, 11/12, and 12/12, and even 13/12. We also did fractions of 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, 1/5, 1/6, 1/7, 1/8, 1/9, and 1/10. If you want to know what fraction of ingredients are used in making Hershey's milk chocolate bar, sorry, those fractions are top secret. Okay, so now that we have read our Hershey's book about fractions and kind of have had an introduction, we're going to take a few notes about fractions. So if you would write fractions on your page, okay, and then we're going to write a couple definitions. So we're going to write the definition for a fraction, and a fraction is a part or portion of a whole thing. Okay, so in our book, our whole was our Hershey's chocolate bar, right? and then they used the smaller pieces once they broke it apart to make different fractions. Okay, so then we're going to write down the definition for the numerator. And the numerator in our fraction is the top number of a fraction. Okay, so an example would be if we had the fraction 1/2, okay, this 1 is your numerator. Okay, so we are also going to write down the definition for the denominator. And the denominator is the bottom number of a fraction. Okay, so an example, let's use a different fraction. Let's use the fraction 3/4. Okay, so this 4, that's our bottom number, so this would be the denominator. Okay, so something else to note is that when writing fractions on paper, this is typically how you will see them. However, on a computer, you might see them written as 2/3, okay? So, if a fraction is written like this on the computer, this 2 would be your numerator, and then this 3 would be your denominator. Okay, I don't want you to be thrown off if you see them like this on a computer or on an assignment, okay? Because sometimes people do have to put them in the computer like this. So I want you to practice really quickly, okay? So what if we have the fraction 2/6, okay? So 2/6, I want you to pick out the numerator and the denominator, or you can just think about it quickly. I'm going to give you a minute to think about that. Okay. So here would be your numerator, and here would be your denominator. Okay? So make sure you do have these definitions down. Okay, we will be referring back to them later on. And then you also have a vocabulary video to watch. You don't have to do anything else with the vocabulary. Just please do go watch that video that is linked in the plans. Alright, enjoy the rest of your day.